AMD with the new Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D put Intel on the shoulder blades, new statistics Mindfactory. Many of our readers have heard about AMD's failures in the desktop and custom graphics markets. According to analysts, at the beginning of 2022, Intel had a modest 40% of sales, while a considerable 60% remained at AMD. The end of the year is disappointing, as the situation has changed dramatically, and at the beginning of 2023 sales of Red fell to 30%. It seems that the main reason was that the blue ones were willing to discount the prices of their products, and as a result, AMD processors were not so attractive in terms of cost and performance. The situation is even worse with video cards, but in this article, we are only interested in processors. So, the Ryzen 7000 series was supposed to fix the situation, but instead Lisa Su was waiting for an epic failure, because it was Intel that released more powerful products, bypassing its rivals both in games and in work tasks. The attempt to lower prices allowed us to increase sales, but significantly reduced margins, but for now it is too early to draw conclusions about whether the decisions of AMD management led to any positive consequences. As you may have heard, the production of processors with 3D V-Cache technology started abruptly, but in the end, Lisa Su was able to release the fastest gaming processor with some delay. Ryzen 9 7950 by 3D offers ultimate features, but it reacts very poorly to overclocking attempts and can burn out of the blue. Most likely, all these are horror stories, but the reasons for the failure of flagships around the world will have to be understood. Although, last week AMD had a new reason for joy, as the release of the new Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D took place. This is a new 8-core gaming gem that is the successor to the Ryzen 7 5800 by 3D and offers the same high performance as the more expensive Ryzen 9 7950 by 3D. Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D quite expectedly bypassed the Core i9-13900K, but in the assembly it is much cheaper than all its potential competitors. And then it's time for Intel marketers, as well as paid experts who were given the task to discredit Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D. Yesterday, the main sensation was the statement of some technology resources claiming that there is a significant difference in performance on motherboards with different chipsets. Simply put, if you buy an expensive motherboard for the X670, you will get the maximum number of frames per second, but on the budget A620, nothing like this will be achieved. As it turned out, this is just another fake made up by Lisa Su's haters. Fortunately, the expert community quickly figured out the situation, and in the end, we can draw the following conclusion: Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D will work just as well on a budget motherboard as on the most expensive one. This happens because the actual heat output of an 8-core processor does not exceed 50 watts in games. But in synthetic tests, a more expensive motherboard based on the X670 chipset can give up to 4.5% increase. Cinebenchmark 23 is given as an example, but such a board costs $200-300 more, and the main purpose of Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D is not tests, but real games, and everything is in perfect order there. Well, as a natural result, there are frenzied sales of Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D. According to the German Mindfactory, the novelty was sold out in the amount of 1,860 units. By the way, in second place is Ryzen 7 5800 by 3D with a result of 1,070 units. Obviously, not all gamers can afford to build on a newer and more expensive stone, but we suggest that you consider how many dozen of the most popular processors. It should be borne in mind that the results are not representative, since Mindfactory traditionally has a high demand for RedCamp products. As you can see, the Core i7-13700K is on the 8th place with an indicator of 170 processors shipped in the period from April 3 to April 9. It is easy to calculate that the Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D sold 11 times better, which means that AMD's victory is indisputable in Germany alone. By the way, Due to such a frenzied demand, we managed to occupy more than 83% of the market, as well as significantly increase margins. Note that Intel is not going to give up, but very soon the updated 13th generation of processors will go on sale, which so far appears in insider leaks under the name Raptor Lake Refresh. It is expected that the release will take place in August. Processors will receive increased clock speeds and will be able to compete for the title of the best gaming products on the market.